Hello and welcome to the Vigilant Guard 2023 Planning Hub. My name is Spencer. I work for the Wyoming Office of Homeland Security, and I'll kind of go through the Vigilant Guard Hub with you today in this video, sort of a 1,000-foot overview. And then we'll do a second video that's got a little bit more of the instructions for the core planners and the working group leaders to help orient them to the site. By way of introduction here, we've got a little bit of a bottom line up front slide that's embedded, and so the way this is put together, it's just for the month and kind of shows everybody the, again, bottom line up front information, the bluff information of the key high points. Any of the sites, the blue buttons that say edit will take you into an editable version, and if you have access to that particular document or slide or whatever it may be, you'll be able to edit it. If not, it will ask you to request access, and that comes back to our office, and we can, depending on your kind of position in the planning group, we can approve that or not. The not is not to exclude folks, but more specifically to kind of keep the answers to the questions when we get closer to the exercise within the trusted agent group, so we don't spoil the surprises, if you will, number one. And number two, just to reduce the potential errors in having folks incidentally overwrite things that were on the wrong tab or whatever the case may be. So with that, the blue buttons, again, will edit it if you have access based on kind of what you're doing in the planning groups. Down below is our work group leaders and core planners. This is mainly the core planner group of the folks helping us get this exercise moved forward. And then down below, we've got a bit of an embedded plan that you can scroll through that's got the 30,000-foot information up front. And then at the bottom, just a quick little map for some situational awareness that pulls in some weather, similar to our Wyoming information sharing platform, but more around some of the stuff we're facing in the current environment with fires and whatnot. We've got a general summary tab, and this page has a couple of things. It's got again, kind of who, what, when, where, why, the 5 W's piece here. And that just loads, and we can update that to give, again, the 50,000-foot summary. Down below is our in-progress review documents. We post these here, and as you use the little button right here, you can toggle through, and it gives you a much more detailed look at what's happening with the Vigilant Guard, kind of the lead up and work up. We've also attached up here a couple other things. One is a instruction section, which is where these videos will be posted. And the second is just a simple little exercise 101 in acronyms. And so as you have acronyms that you may want to add, something either from the military space or the emergency manager space, similar, you can click the little blowout icon here, and we'll put a little edit button here as well. Click that, and then you can just type your information down below. The exercise 101 is just sort of a document that if you have new folks in your organization that aren't used to exercises in general, you can go ahead and print this off and kind of scroll through it, and it gives you a 30,000-foot overview on the HSEP, Homeland Security Exercise and Evaluation Program. Our contacts and invitees, this section is used for, number one, keeping contact information of who is on first. Similar kind of a blowout button takes you to this form, or you can just fill out your information in the embedded form. As you scroll down, this is the work group. This is actually everybody, their contact information. You're not able to edit this, only the core planners can edit this, but if you click the little button, it'll pull the version out and open it up in its kind of organic form. From there, you can do some sorting and filtering based on names, agencies, what they're invited to, the concept of development, midterm planning, etc., or their work groups or their roles. We're hoping to populate this out. You can see we still have a few holes that need to be filled, and again, that can be done through this survey mechanism up front, or by contacting one of the core planners that has with your group, right? If you've got a core planner that's assigned to your agency or whatnot. The calendar is our next stop. You can use this calendar. It's sort of a 50,000, oops, wrong button there, 50,000-foot view of just the overview of what's going on. So as you look here, again, an edit button, and this is for the core planners that need to add some stuff into that calendar. And as you can see here, just the heavy heavy events. So we've got some of our meetings, the holidays, some of the exercise components, but then also we've got some of the stuff as we start adding on potentially work group meetings. So as you scroll down, you can see we've got Frontier Days going on right now, various other things like the initial planning meeting, holidays, core planner, get-togethers, and whatnot. Underneath, sort of nested within the calendar component here, we have one for room reservations, which again just sort of helps us organize our logistics around room reservations, but also a meetings section. And so the way this works, you can click again edit on the meetings and you can add a meeting. Right now we've just got our core planner syncs and our work group leader in progress reviews. But you just add this in here and you can again on the edit version select from drop downs here and here. What that will do is what you'll see here in a minute. It'll help you kind of organize your work group section. From a training perspective, we've got a handful of courses that are leading up into the next steps for us. And so you can just register right off the hyperlinks and they'll take you out. We've got an incident command system, kind of an intermediate version, ICS 300 and 400, both coming to Cheyenne in October, November. We'll have a G2300, which is the intermediate EOC course, and that'll be coming in December. We're working on finalizing some dates for an 0305, which is kind of an all-hazard IMT course that'll help kind of work you through in an exercise fashion what we'll be working on as we get going. We're also adding other stuff down here, and so as you have ideas for courses or training that might be useful, please let us know and we can get them put there. We've added a 233, ICS 233 Open Action Tracker. Again, edits are locked down to work group leaders and core planners. But as you, again, kind of have something that's sort of universal, not the little weedy details, but stuff that would apply more broadly, more strategically, you can hit the edit button, fill out the information, and then again update status and due dates and whatnot as you track through to make sure that we're not missing key and core items to the exercise itself. We have a document library where we're trying to house all the miscellaneous documents for one-stop shopping access. This again, as you can see, is restricted. So for example, the work group with C4I, those files really can only be accessed by the C4I group members, the team leaders, as well as the core planners. And so that way we keep the exercise a little bit segmented, again, not letting the cat out of the proverbial bag. And so if you think you should be in one of these and you're not, let us know, or go back to the contacts and fill out the little survey, and then that's how we're updating the permissions for the various folders and substructures. Our work groups, and you can see here is sort of the blowouts of what these are. We'll just look at one, but you can see there's one for each of the work groups, as well as the counties that are participating. And so each one of these is pretty similar. We've got the work group title, the work group leaders, we've got meetings, and again, this pulls automatically from the meeting stuff we looked at up here. And so if you post it over there, it'll come out over here. Clicking on these blue edit buttons will actually take you back to the organic place. And so that way you can see the work group leader has a bunch of meetings coming up. But as you start scheduling actual individual work group sessions, they'll show up here as well. Similar to the contact information tab, we're doing a broadcast from the contact tab back here. So this is just your folks that are assigned to C4I. And so you as a work group leader or C4I members can look in here and see exactly who's on your team or who's missing. Again, this button will take you back to the survey. So if you're in a meeting or if you're out and about and say, hey, we need to add such and such, click the button. You can see here it'll blow out. You can fill out the survey mechanism, save it, submit it right all through the portal here. And this can be done on your phone or your computer. And that'll end up back on our contact list after it's vetted by the core planners, and then it will show up on your list. Down below, we've got just a little placeholder for kind of a running notes document. So as you're having meetings, the edit button again, blue, will blow you out and you'll be able to access this. We put some placeholders in there for now. If those are the wrong things, you can adjust that, or if you need a different document sort of embedded, let us know and we can adjust that as well. And then lastly, down below on each one of the working group things, we have a little drop box. And so again, you can add or edit files if you have permissions to the group. And so if you have meeting agendas, meeting notes, whatever else it may be, you can drag and drop them into the embedded file here. And have kind of, again, a running library, and that's nested then within the document library that we discussed earlier. As always, if you have questions, please contact one of the core planners. You can access that either through the contact list or Major Oswald and myself. Our information is down at the very bottom on the footer of each one of these pages. So with that, thanks for joining us, and we'll look forward to another kind of more detailed look with some specific work group